Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stacker News Live. This is my best friend Keyan, and he has what do you have sleeping next to you?
In the Airbnb next to me, I'm pretty sure there's a sex cult staying in the Airbnb next to me.
A sex cult?
That's right. We're pretty sure. They woke us
Wait,
up.
who's we? Your wife?
Me and my wife.
Okay.
They woke us up at 1 a.m. this morning, and I woke up and looked out our bedroom window, which faces the backyard of the Airbnb, and it's 10 people in scantily clad.
Oh, with a pool.
In a pool, and they're going around in a circle. They're just going around. They're like
Some
they're all like
wide
they're all
shut stuff?
Yeah, they're all like arm to
Were
arm.
they wearing red or something?
Arm,
like
arm to arm, and just around in a circle, round and round and round in circle. So we're pretty sure it's a sex, making weird giggly noises. Like noises you would expect at like a furry convention.
That's weird you say that, because we just went to go see The Northman, and in The Northman, there's a scene where like all these people like run around like that, half naked, and proceed to. Me and Super closed our eyes. We were like, "What is going on here? This is not necessary."
I know Super gave what did he tell me? He's like the movie was awful. He's like, it's 4 out of 5 in action, 5 out of 5 in story, 10 out of 5 in whatever else. He's like, but it gets a 0 because there was nudity.
Yeah, because it didn't need it. It like really did. It was such a great movie. That's interesting. What are you gonna do about it? They already left then, probably, right?
Yeah, they leave this morning. I had to go. I went outside and I was like, hey, I'm trying to sleep. You guys woke us up. I have work tomorrow. That's what I did, and wow. I didn't go back to sleep for like 2 hours until like 2 hours later.
What if the stackers like end up Airbnb next to you?
That'd be cool, because then I could send them a message on Stacker News and be like, hey, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to sleep.
All right, well, we're gonna get into the top stories this week. We got a lot of good ones. It's been a crazy week, so let's do it, Keyan.
Let's do it. All right, so top story of the week is from Now. He enumerates some problems with the Lightning Network, and earned 1,800 sats. But if you're like in this space quite a bit, these are all kind of familiar problems with you. But these are things that I think really do prevent Lightning from like even wider adoption or even faster adoption than we currently have. Like for instance, like no agreed upon standard for static code. So we have like Bolt 12, we have AMP static invoices, but there's some like disagreement on whether Bolt 12 should be actually implemented or not. Although it seems like the majority of implementations are actually pushing ahead with it. So anyway, the other ones are privacy of hosted channels is not great. You have a hard time doing offline receiving in wallets, et cetera, et cetera. There's all these kind of problems. We all are, it's good to have a list of them. In the comments, people list other things, of course. Like Darthcoin lists no good algorithm for pathfinding, especially if you're trying to do like multiple paths simultaneously. He still has issue with force closing. Anyway, it was a pretty good post about Lightning Network problems, and these are things that we should all be trying to think about.
Yeah, thank you, Nout, for putting that together. I really love these posts where they're like putting, it's almost like a short like TLDR, I guess, would it be called? And it's just usually like it's written in this format, but this is like the second one I've seen.
I would call it original content, but I don't know what you said TLDR.
As far as like the issues with the current Lightning Network.
Oh, I see. Yeah. We're all like a lot of the users on Stacker News are interacting with the Lightning Network probably more than a lot of other people. So it makes sense that they are kind of more acutely aware of these kind of things. So
and we met Now in Miami. That was awesome. But yeah, it's good. It's good to know like a face now to the name on some of these Stacker News posts.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I agree. It's kind of. I'd seen Nat's face before, and I'd seen some of the other stackers' faces before. But like recently, one of the one Stacker News user moved to Austin, and I met them for the first time.
Oh, cool. Who
and I
was
was like, I don't want to say, but it's like,
okay.
I was like a fresh. He was very, very. They were a very fresh faced person, and it was kind of. I was like, oh wow.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Was he at Lightning Devs?
He was at
Yeah,
Lightning
yeah, I
Devs.
know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Boss.
Yeah, but
Shout out to you.
Shout out to that to that guy. Anyways, yeah, it is really cool to be able to see people's faces. There's something about a human face.
Yeah,
that's special.
we need each other.
Yeah, great story by Nat. I love original content, especially stuff that is like, you know.
Do you think they get higher ranked?
They get higher ranked. I mean, clearly this is the top story of the week. People really like original content, and they like, you know, because you link out to another website. It's got all kinds of alternative styling and, you know, whatever else on it, and ads potentially, you know, who knows what else.
Trackers.
Yeah. So it's like original content that's concise and to the point, and gives people kind of what they want. Yeah, that gets the most tips for sure. Yeah.
This was actually Stackers. This was my favorite post of the week, but I didn't know until Keyan told me just now.
Yeah. So this is a cool project. If you're curious about who is funding Bitcoin development, given that Bitcoin doesn't have a pre-mine, it doesn't have a foundation, it doesn't have a Vitalik, it doesn't have a bunch of VCs in the space funding like actual Bitcoin protocol development. Who is funding it? And this project, you know, allows you to visualize who is funding it.
Yeah, that's so cool, dude. In the comments, I was like, "Who made this?" So we can like thank them.
Oh, well, they're on Stacker News. Kulomos is the creator of it.
Boss.
Yeah. Someone else shared it, but then Kulomos ended up joining and kind of talks about it. It's a cool graph. Like what's really surprising, you know, Spiral seems to be funding most of the Bitcoin development.
Too.
Yeah. Brink is another big one. They've been around. They've been doing it for a long time. I don't know if this considers like all of the historic. I think it does. It considers all the historical contributions. But Spiral, even though Spiral, I believe, is a fairly recent sponsor of Bitcoin development.
See, and this is good because it shows like who are the real, you know, conglomerate. I don't want to say conglomerate, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, big guys
like actually supporting. Like, I don't see MicroStrategy on there. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going on, Sailor?
It's true. I mean, they're not. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I don't think they're using Bitcoin in their product, so it's a little bit different.
They still should support the open source devs.
You're right. I think they end up. I think what they do is they donate to Brink and these other organizations. Is
that what they do?
So they don't have their own like nonprofit or whatever.
Okay. Well, they should be in there, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe put like corporate sponsored development.
I mean, they might be in some capacity. I don't know.
Look, there's Gemini. They're a big institution.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's a good. You have Digital Currency Initiative in there funding people. BitMEX is doing a lot of it. HRF. Brink,
yeah, HRF
even Coinbase
great.
is.
Even Coinbase.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, there's no. Come on, Sailor. Like.
But I think all of those people have their own nonprofits funding stuff, which might be different. Because I remember there was a podcast I heard Sailor on where he committed to actually contributing some amount.
Proof of work.
He's not on this graph. So
it's not on this graph.
Maybe it was somebody.
Yeah, you should question.
Anyway,
This is a great website. Thank you. For making it.
It's a cool project. I suspect it'll get very full eventually, and we'll just have so many people funding Bitcoin development that it'll be just super crowded.
Shout out to all the people funding Bitcoin development. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, absolutely. You're making our lives better. This is Kulomos. So.
Oh, boss. Yeah, follow Kulomos. I need to follow him.
Yeah, he's on Twitter. He's the guy who made it.
That's amazing.
All right, so the third story is why not make a Bitcoin-powered Craigslist?
Whoa, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't see this one.
Yeah,
about it.
So this is by User Throne. So I don't know if you've heard of this concept of like bundling and unbundling before.
No.
But it's like it's it's a fairly common term thrown around in like Silicon Valley, but the idea is like Craigslist was kind of Web 1, and then a lot of as it points out in this graphic here, like a lot of Web 2 was simply unbundled. Like Craigslist is a bundle of a bunch of features, and then Web 2 sort of unbundles a lot of these features into separate independent applications. So you have like Airbnb for, short-term rentals, what might have been prior only on Craigslist. Like they spun out a whole app, a worth over $100 billion probably company.
This is interesting. Keep going.
Zillow, Reddit replaced the discussion forums in Web 2. Tinder replaced the personal ads, etc. So this is kind of, that's what the concept is. Unbundling Craigslist has a bundle. You unbundle it into a bunch of like vertical applications that end up being worth quite a bit of money just by simply focusing really heavily on that niche. Anyway, so what does that look like post Web 2? Like, the crypto boys call it Web 3. I don't know what we call it in Bitcoin yet.
Lightning.
Web Lightning is maybe a term. But what does that look like in the context of Bitcoin? And perhaps it's like actually, in my opinion, so what you have in addition is like you sometimes you have like a rebundling of things. I don't have a great shorthand example of this, but it's another direction, another iteration that happens sometimes is like you'll have all of these things be unbundled in one generation of technology, and then you'll rebundle them back into something again. Like people get tired of having all these separate apps, and then they just want it all in one place again. And so we go through these kind of trends. But so, potentially there's, it's like, is there a place for a Craigslist like thing, for all these features bundled up in a Bitcoin powered application? And it's kind of an interesting discussion to have.
So he has a marketplace that he created. Is that what it says down there in the first comment?
No, this is someone who's working on a Bitcoin based marketplace.
Amazing.
This was shared quite a while ago on Stacker News. It looks like they also support Monero, so I don't know how people feel about that, but
just asking for a takedown.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I mean it's an interesting idea. I have some ideas I see some of this happening. Like some of my vision around Stacker News is exactly these kind of rebundling of these certain things. Like I imagine marketplaces happening on Stacker News. You have a sub where you're selling things. We already have a job board, which Craigslist had as well. We have a discussion forum, obviously. Potentially there's a lot more room for that kind of stuff. Because we support digitally native payments. Maybe that makes sense. I don't know. But
yeah, I think there is. I think it's gonna require a community first to do it.
Yeah,
kind of like how you like co-opted the Twitter community through there, and then LND and all that stuff. Or was it LNURL? So I guess it could work, right? I mean, there's enough people on Lightning already, so I guess if somebody made it, it could work. But if you made it, then it would already be inside of Stacker News, I guess.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you could just take advantage of an existing network effect. And so,
yeah. Can somebody out there actually make it and use Stacker News users or no?
No. Okay. So I don't know. I mean, I plan on like my first experiment into doing a marketplace is probably me selling Stacker News merch.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then so we'll just
that makes sense.
We'll have a little bit.
So like you can get the Stacker News sweater, the hat, the glasses,
the knit sweater,
all the stuff that I have,
knit by Car's sister. Anyway, yeah.
Hopefully knit by me soon. I need to learn how to.
Oh, that's right. Once you learn how to sew,
it's on the list this year.
You're gonna do leather vests. I think that's gonna be your.
No, we'll start a little smaller, low time preference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it was a cool post, and yeah, it's true. It's like, I mean, it is an undeniable tech trend that we unbundle and rebundle over and over.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So
did you watch this?
I have not watched this yet. I'm curious. I do like Lex Fridman. I like his podcast. I think he's basically like Joe Rogan 2.0 or like Joe Rogan PhD. It's kind of the way I think.
So let the stackers who are listening on the pod know what the title is.
Lex and Saifedean Amos. Bitcoin, Anarchy, and Austrian Economics.
That's the name of the title of the post. Yeah, Lex Fridman. Man, I'm not gonna say I don't like him because I don't know him. I know he lives in Austin. But I will say though that the interview with Rick Rubin was really good. So definitely check out that. And then if you're gonna check out a safe podcast, I would check out the one with Marty. Like that's probably higher signal. This looks like a beginner's podcast with Safe, and I don't know. I met Safe about 2 weeks ago, and we recorded one of his pods inside of the studio.
Yeah,
and he's a really interesting man. Very kind, very straightforward.
Very Lebanese.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, really cool guy.
Yeah, he seems like a cool guy. I'm gonna listen to this podcast. I like Lex Fridman. He usually asks good questions from like a normie perspective.
Yeah,
which is nice to hear how because like a lot of Bitcoiners, they'll get into high level conversations with other Bitcoiners, and it's hard to connect it back to reality where you might actually converse with normal people about it.
Yeah, some of the clips are really good though.
You've watched some of these clips?
Just on Twitter that people have posted, but yeah, I feel like the Marty one with him was
better,
probably higher signal.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
but still, great getting on, Lex, because it's gonna get a lot of people on the Bitcoin standard, I would imagine.
Yeah, here's your comment. You think Lex has gotten
his spot? Yeah, that's what I said. I said his spot has gotten better. What did I say?
Love seeing Safe on there.
Yeah.
I've liked Lex's podcast from like way earlier, like back in the day.
Oh, really? What did he do before?
He's been doing. I mean, this is his 284th podcast. I was listening to his podcast back around 100, but he'd have like a lot of scientists on and stuff. It was
interesting,
and like OG computer scientists.
Oh, okay, that's why you liked it.
Yeah. He has a PhD in computer science. So,
okay,
naturally.
I just don't like that he had Charles Hoskinson.
Oh, right. Yeah. He's had a lot of shitcoiners on.
Yeah.
He's trying
but
to
he's learning. He's learning.
I think he's just curious.
Yeah, that's what I think so too.
I don't think
and then Charles Hoskinson pays a lot of money if you get him on your podcast. So I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I mean, it's the marketing. Unless you're like really deep in this stuff, the marketing is really hard.
Lex is probably holding some Cardano.
No, he says he doesn't hold any crypto, or I don't think he holds any stocks either. He might be like 100% fiat. Just because he doesn't want a conflict of interest, and he says he doesn't care about money at all. So I think he might just hold like 100% fiat.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I think he's interested in all these other things anyway. But
anyways,
yeah, cool.
Check it out for Safe.
This is the fifth top story. This is Ash Draked paid 100,000 sats to Hero of Bitcoin to make pixel art of Saint Martin and the Beggar, which is pretty cool. But they posted that this transaction had happened. So Saint Martin the Beggar is a kind of a famous older painting, and Hero of Bitcoin they take Bitcoin to make pixel art, and he did this for 100K sats. Pretty cool.
Pixel art is coming back.
Oh, it's been back for a long time.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm
seeing it more and more because I'm even dabbling in pixel art now.
Yeah,
just a little dabble.
Yeah, I mean, we go through like fashion trends, even in like digital art, where
yeah, you're right, we do.
Yeah, fashion, like clothing, everything. It follows
even on the web too.
And there's what's interesting about clothing. If you pay a lot of attention to like clothing fashion, is it'll usually draw from two separate decades. You'll have like right now we're transitioning from the 90s to the early 2000s, and then we had basically the 90s and the 70s for the last like 5 years or so. We're like heavy inspiration.
A lot of flannel.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But We're moving, I think, to the 2000s. Anyway, but pixel art does appear to be back, and it's pretty cool.
This is the way.
Hiring Bitcoiners, paying them with Bitcoin. Pretty cool.
People are just posting their art on there, like, "Hey, tip me. I made this." That's funny.
Yeah, pretty cool. All right, my top story of the week is the André Neves AMA, which just happened today.
I missed it, dude.
Just went down today. Great AMA. André is like, very steeped in this stuff, like very high level, like, executive at ZEBEDEE, knows his stuff. He is
you think?
Fiat Joff's boss. I thought it was great. I thought it was really good. He had a lot of great answers. One of Now asked the top question, I believe, and it was, have you ever considered integrating with Minecraft? Because that's so many people play Minecraft. It'd be so cool to have Bitcoin in Minecraft. Yeah, and they said they've looked into it, but it's a fairly complicated integration, I think, is more or less the conclusion. I asked a question about non-custodial wallets, and they said,
what did he say?
He said hosted channels are maybe one approach, and then another is offline receiving, like the Lightning service provider. They hold the payment until your wallet comes back online. And there might be like non-custodial ways to do that potentially if we support it in the protocol. So that was a good answer. He's ended up skipping some of them. I guess he didn't get around to all of them, I don't think, or maybe I haven't refreshed the page in a while. But
wow.
really good AMA. I really appreciate it.
What's the sats on it?
Sats on it got up to this. I think this is old. I think it's over 50 now.
Okay, cool. So about 50,000 sats.
Yeah.
Not a bad way to spend your Friday afternoon.
No. And then next week we're gonna have Roy from Breeze.
Wow.
Yeah. Roy from Breeze is gonna be
legendary.
Yeah, it's a good one. It'll be a good one.
Yeah.
I just scheduled that today.
I used to always last year. I used to always check out the Breeze tutorials and. Wait, was it Breeze? The Breeze wallet, right?
Yeah, Breeze wallet.
I think it was Breeze.
They're the earliest with all of this stuff.
I want to say they had like the best tutorials that I used to follow before I met you, Keyan. I want to say, yeah.
It's probably true. I think they had the first. They had the first streaming sats podcasting 2.0 experience, I believe. They also had what else did they do? Oh, they had the first Lightning service provider.
Yeah, think about that from last year to where it is this year. A lot of that has gotten way easier. Like we figured that out. Yep. Way to go, ecosystem.
Yeah, we're growing. I don't know if you also saw, but there's that. We're growing. The Lightning Network is growing so much, it's attracting attention of former Facebook executives.
So I'm surprised that didn't make the top story.
I don't know. I think people slept on it.
So basically what Keyan's talking about is you have David Marcus of Meta and the failed Libra coin token, whatever it was.
I thought it was Diem.
Whatever it's called. He's getting money from like A16Z and all. Basically, he's getting $100 million.
Was it 100 million? That figure thrown out there?
I'm pretty sure I saw that somewhere. But he's
that's a huge pre-seed round.
So wait. Let me finish. This gets where it gets really good.
Right.
So he's given like all this money to go and create. We don't know yet. Like we don't know if he's gonna be like LND, LDK, or like Core Lightning. We don't know any of that yet. So we'll see. But there's application stuff online. They're looking for developers.
Oh yeah, no, I went and checked out their website. I wish I could pull up that story. It might have made it in the top post.
I'm surprised it didn't make it, but application for McDonald's employment.
That was one of the top
Yeah, there
ones.
it goes right there. Yeah, so I mean, more money coming into the ecosystem, I guess, is good. We'll see what happens.
I mean,
Question mark?
For me, this is super bullish. We have institutional, I guess, tech people who are admitting that there is something really significant going on with Lightning, and they're going to pursue it. I mean,
yeah, and it took all of us to like get that signal out there, like at the Bitcoin conference, like everything that we've been doing for the past year. I'm talking about like every developer out there to get that signal out, and everybody has contributed to that to get these guys in. But I also think they got severely wrecked, maybe, and they had failed projects, and they're realizing like, this is no longer cool anymore. You know what's cool? Lightning's cool.
I don't think they were likely raising well before.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're already.
These raises don't happen in a
you're
weekend.
right.
They happen over.
I thought
months.
thought they just like say, hey. No.
No. It was that's why I think this is really high signal. It's not not a desperate move.
So you think this was going on like what 3-4 months ago?
Yeah, he was probably already like deep in Lightning Network. I would guess.
I'm gonna throw this out there. What do you think about Taro? Do you think the Taro release was coordinated with this release?
According to the Block Crypto article, they interviewed what's his name, Dave Marcus or whatever, and he said that I quote it here: Lightspark will not focus on building its own stable coin or cryptocurrency. So
yeah, I don't believe that.
I went.
Who David Marcus said that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So his word doesn't matter because he's gone back on his word so many times. You can't trust anything the guy says.
I mean, I have no idea about really his history, but I tried to like figure out what, like, if there's any information out there about what they're working on at all, and I couldn't find it. The best information I could find was in their job applications. And the most suggestive thing that it says is that they're building frameworks to collect and deeply analyze Lightning data for purposes of solution improvement. So basically, what they're doing is like they're like this technology is growing extremely fast. It's something significant is going on here. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna look for problems and solve them and make a shit ton of money. Is what
I mean. We'll see what happens.
I mean, we just had that list from now about all the problems that exist in the Lightning Network, and maybe they identify additional ones, and hopefully they take some of that shitcoin money and they invest it into Bitcoin, and all of our lives are better.
I mean, we'll see. I just kind of have a thing of like always saying like let's just see how it plays out, and just watch carefully.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So this is my top story of the week. It's a TFTC rip from Mr. Kyle Murphy and Miss Lisa Nighet.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I watched the first 15 minutes of it. It was good.
Yeah, and then we recorded that on Tuesday, I think. Tuesday or Wednesday, I forget. These days all mishmash together.
I think it was Wednesday.
But yeah, it was really cool because I had to set everything up. And I see Kyle every day. I see Lisa often. So it was just kind of and then I see Marty every day. So it was just kind of almost, it was the first time we ever recorded. I'm not going to say the only time. This is one of the few podcasts that we recorded with guests in there where I'm like, okay, I literally know everybody in the room.
Yeah, it's like all your friends are meeting for the first time.
Yeah, it was
it's like you throw a birthday party, friend groups.
Yeah, it was one of those podcasts.
Yeah.
It was super special. I wish I would have been able to pay attention to it more, but I was really focused on the switching and all that kind of stuff. Just because
yeah, you had two cameras.
I had two cameras, and
it
was okay, I had to focus on the cadence of everybody's voices and the conversation.
Do you follow the rule of three? I learned about the rule of three recently.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. But anyway, check it out, Sackers. It's a really good high signal, I guess, developer podcast. Marty's been doing more of these where he's covering all the Bitcoin developers and really putting them on. And I think Marty does this the most of any other. Well, I'm not gonna say any other, but he does this a lot to where he really just wants to help out as many open source developers as he can. So it's really cool seeing this happen.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Oh, and then one of the spicy takes that Lisa gave was she said she goes, "We are in a recession." She's like, "Aren't we in a recession?" Or Marty goes, "Aren't we in a recession?" She goes, "We are in a recession." And then she gave all these stats, and I was like, "Boss." Yeah.
I guess so. I guess
we're in a recession.
Cool. That sounds great. I loved 2008. I don't know. That was a good year. Wasn't it a good year?
I love 2008.
It was, I don't know. I mean, yeah. Anyway, recessions suck, I'm sure. But I kind of like them because it makes people focus.
Yeah, that is true. I have been feeling the last few days since the prices dropped that the energy here in at Bitcoin Commons is just everybody's head down, focused, and you can really feel it in both places, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, when number go up, you kind of just sit back and watch it go up. You kind of don't work very much, I don't think. I think it maybe gives people some energy, but I don't like the energy. I prefer the energy when people are assuming things are going to go bad and they still are focused on the right stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'll have to listen to that one too. Let's pause all these guys.
So next is our what? Are we doing jobs?
I guess we could do jobs next. Why not? You mentioned it. New jobs are Trammell put up an analyst position. We have a friend who's an analyst there, Austinite. Trammell is based in Austin. I don't know.
Oh, no. I thought it was. Is Snow an
it is. Yeah, he's an analyst there. Or he got promoted recently. I don't know. But they're maybe he's now like a full-blown VC. But
it's kind of weird seeing him like at all the places.
Is it?
Well, he was at your house, wasn't he?
Yeah, I stopped by my house one time, and he knocked on my neighbor's door because I don't want to give too many details. But I live in like a
sex cult door.
No, not the sex cult door, but another one. I live in like a weird housing situation. Anyway, but yeah, they're hiring. They're paying 11 sats per minute. I think that's the highest rate we've had on a job yet. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we know somebody. I'm not gonna say who it is that applied for it. I'll tell you later.
Interesting. Stackwork is still up at the top. Medalli Ventures is still hiring a PHP backend engineer. If anyone of you is really latched onto PHP, get at them. Strike is still on there hiring an SDET.
I'm surprised
Swan.
Strike hasn't filled that position yet.
I mean, they're probably always hiring forever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's probably never going to stop.
Most people would want to go work for Strike, but maybe not.
They do use C#, so that would discourage me from applying, but.
Oh, okay.
But they do use C#, which I don't. I hear is a beautiful language in a lot of ways.
Why not like C++? What's the difference between C# and
C# is like a higher level language. It's an interpreted language. It's not compiled, and so you get a little bit more expressiveness, meaning it's like easier to write programs than it is in C++, and it has what is called it has memory management. So like when you're running a computer program, it'll use up memory on your computer. And if you're using something like C++, oftentimes you'll have to manage all that memory yourself. You'll have to be aware of all the memory that's happening. But with something like C# and JavaScript and some of these other languages, you don't have to do that. It does it all for you, which is kind of nice.
I'm surprised they don't have like Rust on there. I always hear that or Go or anything like that. But
yeah, but once you pick a language for your like stack, you kind of stick with it. So,
okay.
Yeah. So they use C#, I believe, because Rockstar was a C#
Oh wait,
dev.
does Rockstar work there?
He was CTO for a long time.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
He might even still be CTO. I'm not sure, but
interesting.
I know at one point he was CTO there. Anyway, we got some jobs. Come fill them. Tell them we sent you.
Oh, ZEBEDEE right there.
Yeah, ZEBEDEE's been hiring on here. Voltage
boss.
Yeah, if the HR person at Voltage is listening, your account is running out of sats, and if you put some back in, your jobs will come back up. Yeah. Anyway, those are the jobs. Top stackers of the week. André, look at him with his AMA.
Amazing.
Me. I don't count.
Yeah, you don't count.
O. We have some users finally taking single letter.
Who's O?
I don't know who O is. That's kind of cool about a single letter. O could end in so many different ways. It could be Oscar. It could be Oliver. It could be
interesting.
Omira. I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, Omar. But they've been posting a lot actually. So
Cointastical.
Cool. Cointastical. BTC Sessions. Still stacking more. He shared a seed signer tutorial.
Nice.
Which was pretty great. Yeah. Got a lot of folks.
I love when Ben posts on Stacker News.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's fun to have him on there. He's good vibes all around.
Yeah.
He brings that like NSYNC energy.
What? What energy?
Because he's a dancer. So
okay. Oh yeah, that's right. You were telling me he's a break dancer.
Yeah,
okay.
He taught breakdancing at children.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's cool.
Top spenders. Paul from Sphinx Chat. Again, tops the charts of top spenders. These are all stats that are going back to the users. So
cool.
So thank Paul and check out Sphinx Chat. Check out Stackwork. Help them out.
Yeah, definitely.
They're paying you guys. Help them. McKee. This is Chris from Trammell. I forget. I always forget his last name.
I don't know.
Calicott.
Yeah,
Chris
Calicott.
From
Yeah,
Trammell.
110,000.
Yeah, no, he has the top spending
Giving
job
back to
right
the community.
now.
I love it.
He'll eventually outpace Paul, but I think Paul has more jobs up, so he probably won't. Medali Ventures, all of these people. I have a job up.
It's kind of interesting now that we're watching this kind of play out with these jobs, and literally what we're seeing is like all these big companies come into Stacker News, or I'm not going to say big companies, but Bitcoin companies come in, and they're the ones distributing out the most amount of sats to the stackers. That's kind of what's going on here that we're seeing every week.
Yeah,
or at least maybe this week.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the way you want it to happen. Is you want the people who have maybe capital and stuff to be providing it. Like you don't that it kind of makes sense that it works that way. And they get benefit, of course, from people seeing their jobs and whatever, and so it makes sense to pay them for it. But
yeah, that's kind of cool.
That's what's
interesting.
up.
Interesting how that played out. What else we got?
I don't know. I think that's
it?
pretty much it.
Huh?
I don't think there's anything else. We did a quick one. Do you want to show?
Show what?
Do you want to show?
My thing. Did you make the profiles yet? Everybody's waiting.
The profile photos.
Yeah.
I have to show you because you're like here, but
yeah. What have you been working on all week?
Not enough. But like,
oh wow!
Yeah.
Can I take a picture of it?
No, I mean, if you want to, but I have a photo uploading going, but I need to do a lot more work to make it.
Yeah, I'll post that on the I'll post it somewhere. Wow, dude, that looks kind of cool.
It's kind of
Stack profiles coming soon.
I mean, profile photo. It's a photo.
Should you do a border?
Could do a border. I could
just
do
like a yellow border.
Maybe we'll see. I mean, I don't think it matters too much. There's certain
because then people can play. Then profile photos can play with that yellow border.
What do you mean?
So if you do a border around the profile and it's yellow, there'll be users that will play with that border profile. People will get creative with it. Then they could do like a Tetris thing where it goes down. I don't know. There's something there. I'll tell you like off the show. But
I'm trying to figure out what you mean.
Yeah, I see it in my head, but you'd have to. I'll draw it.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, if you want to support Car, he does this show for free.
Yeah, scan this QR code and send him some sats on Stackers.
Like 5 sats. That's enough. But thank you for an awesome show. I'm actually doing this thing to end with Zap now.
Zap.
Okay. All right. We'll see y'all next week, Stackers.